That's like 3 key pieces that no other construction business cares about.
Yeah, man.
Holidays, family,
and it's
not
like,
burning out.
we rock up on Monday, go ask how their day is.
But just being normal, isn't it? It's
ask how their weekend was. Like, they'll like you if you give them the time of day. Like, and who wants to make money for someone who doesn't say hello to them on a Monday morning, or bring them a can of Coke when it's hot, or a coffee when it's cold,
Today we'll be sitting down with Tom Eichner from Eichner Constructions. Tom has navigated from apprentice to subbie and now principal contractor, juggling the demands of commercial carpentry and running his own projects. Expect to learn why a mixture of subcontracting and principal contracting provides the best of both worlds, the importance of having a general manager to share his highs and lows, and how having his first child has impacted the way he leads. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tom Eichner.
Hey mate, how you going?
You've been in the trenches. You've built a solid reputation and made some big strategical pivots to go from carpenter to builder. What is the biggest lesson you learned about building Eichner Construction?
Probably the biggest, or one of the biggest lessons, is backing our product, backing our abilities. Early days, I was young when we kicked off, and you'd get questioned, you'd get backlash from customers, and that slowed the process. But now, we've learned to dig our heels in. We know what we produce is good, and that's.
Do you think that's just out of runs on the board from experience?
Experience and learning. Yeah, we've learned our product's gotten better over the years, but no one knows building better than a builder. So back yourself in.
Okay, we do go a little way back. I've had the privilege of working with you in Alpha Tradie. I've seen underneath the skirt. Looking at where you were when you started versus now, what's been the biggest shift in your thinking?
Biggest shift in thinking, probably that no issue should keep you up at night. There's not a issue that's big enough that can't be fixed. There's a solution for everything. Whether it's giving you a call and, hey, what do I do here? Go on the internet. Someone's made the mistake somewhere before.
Someone solved the problem. There's no such thing as a new idea.
Yeah.
What were some of the things that would keep you awake at night? This is not a shameless plug for myself as well.
Oh no, don't worry. I'll drop you in a few times. It's all right. Keep up. Cash flow. Obviously, that's a massive one for any builder. Cash flow. Australian standards, insurances. There's a list, but
cash flow and compliance always pops up.
Yeah.
Cash flow definitely being the biggest one.
Yep.
Because everybody complains about not being able to meet payroll.
Sure.
What did you have to learn about managing your finances? And probably at what stage?
It's been varying stages, but probably the first 5 years we probably drew even or even ran at a loss. I was Tom, I was all matesy. There's mates rates here. You go help a mate build a pub, and it's, I'll take this discount off there. So I suppose over the first 5 years, I've learnt stop doing mates rates.
Mm-hmm. When you got 10 or 15% margin,
oh man,
that's over a cent.
Yeah. And the first 10 years, we were 10% markup, and doing mates rates on top of that. So yeah, it helped build my name, which I'm glad I did, and we're in a fortunate position now. But those first 5 years of, oh yeah, I'll knock a bit off for you. Oh yeah, I'll do that little bit extra for free. That was a strong learning curve. But now we dig our heels in, and
so that kind of behaviour, does that accepting those jobs, doing those mates rates, do you think that slows down someone's growth? We've got a guy listening to us now who wants to start doing his own projects. Is that going to tie him down?
Fine line, because at the same time, me, being that friendly builder that was happy to take a few little knockbacks and, give you the product that you envisaged but we didn't contract for, I think it was a massive upside, because I have grown my client base to what it is through being that nice guy. But you got to draw the line somewhere. You look back and you look at your books and you've done 5 years and not a lot in the float. You gotta
It's time for a change.
Yeah, time for a change for sure, man, for sure.
Maybe we need to in future have a mates rates budget.
Yeah,
we can do one of 10 projects.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, every business has a vision, but very few actually stick to it, especially in construction where chaos is just the norm. What was the original vision for Eichner Construction?
When I started Eichner Construction, I was actually a site supervisor for hardscape landscape company, which fell over. And then I actually took over 3 contracts that they had running at the time. So that started my niche. I learned my trade doing building houses, second fix, everything, but it started with these, quite upmarket decks, pergolas, outdoor entertaining areas. So that's how it started. And that was the vision for probably the first year. And then the deck pushes into the house, and then it turned into upmarket renovations, your blue chip areas, Unleys, your Norwoods. Those, we were trying to pinpoint those cottage frontages with your big modern out the back. That was our bread and butter for a while there.
The family bungalow extension.
Absolutely.
When they were affordable.
Oh yeah, 100%. So we loved them, and that's I'm passionate about that sort of build. That was the initial vision, but then it was where the money was. So
tell us how it evolved, because you had the small jobs, the small external structures.
Yep.
Then we've got into probably a bit of the hardscaping component as well, because you're already outside.
Yes.
Start doing some renos. Where did commercial subbing come back in or come into the mix?
Sure. So yeah, we'd started doing those 500,000 extensions, which were great. They'd take out a good chunky year. But then we'd have a mate in hospo hit me up. Hey, can you do this little bar? Can you do a DJ booth? Can you do this little extension? Can you do,
Pilates studios,
gyms. So they started popping up, a hospo, and they got bigger and bigger. And then we spent way too much time building on Honley Street. And then that went into gyms. And then, we've done 2 platforms now. Platforms spread quite a bit of word. We've got multiple gyms off the back of that. And then once we took on our GM, Rhett, he comes from a commercial background, and he dug his heels and said, let's go down this commercial route. It's where the money is. And we pivoted. He had his contacts from his commercial background, and yeah, that's when we started going down that path.
Okay. I want to get into the Rhett scenario.
Yep.
I understand the necessity or the ease that it is to have a partner in business. But first, I want to really understand why juggle both principal contracting, so running your own projects, and subcontracting at the same time.
Enjoyment, I guess. So commercial jobs, I find my team, you're there for 3, 4, 5 months, maybe 2 years, hanging the same door or running the same length of skirting or doing the same bit of cladding. It's pretty monotonous stuff.
Doing schools and retirement villages.
Yeah.
And
it's the same thing over and over again, and the same drive to the RAF base, or the same drive to, so it's, personally, the money's better in commercial. It has been for us lately. But then the residential breaks it up. The boys get a rest. They get to put their shorts on. They don't have to wear their long longs.
Mm-hmm.
They can go and do a nice, polished concrete bench top. They can, have a little bit of...
They get to show off their skills.
Yeah, a bit of variety, which the boys love, and girls, which they love. So it's as much for them as it is for me. And and they photograph a lot better than a hospital hallway.
Definitely. Working under the construction or the commercial construction, under those builders, we're going to play to their timelines, their budgets, their payment terms.
Yep.
What's the core drivers to succeeding as a subbie in commercial?
Communication is probably our biggest one. Just we take notes on everything, every change, every hold up, every screw, everything's documented. Everything's, take a note on this. Oh, this guy made a sly comment on, oh, you guys could do quicker here or do an extra bit there. Everything's documented, because we've found as long as you've got that backing, as long as you've got those notes, and you go into your meeting and here you go.
There's no he said, she said to it.
They're great. And everyone, you show that and you're pretty smooth sailing.
Okay. So to master the commercial construction component as a subcontractor, cash flow plays a role in it, but it's not the pivotal piece.
No.
It's note-taking, it's procedure, it's following the Eichner way.
Yeah, and just and talking with them, whoever's managing their site, get on their level, work out who you're dealing with, and create that relationship. And no secrets. You need us to be cheaper. Let us know. Can you help us out on the next one? Just be open with you.
A business lives or dies by its systems. As much as I hate like the systems and processes propaganda that we see online, what is the most important system that's allowed you guys to scale?
Do you want me to say forecasts? Is that
You can plug my forecast if you want. It's available online.
Forecasting has been important for sure. Sam, you and I touched on that.
Because it's always a numbers game.
Yeah, it is 100%. And like I said earlier, cash flow is always on your mind. So forecasting obviously helps you sleep at night, knowing what's coming in, what's not. So that's been great for us as far as scaling goes. Outside of that, me letting go of the reins a bit, giving responsibility to others and stepping back, pivoting on my role, introducing new roles. Being open to change has probably been a big one.
Let's hold it up for a moment. Lots of guys are going about the game of business alone, and it can be a really lonely journey. I talk with hundreds of founders who go through the very same scenario. And from time to time, we find the right guy and the right business, and I decide to invest in that. If that's something that you're interested in, shoot me a message on Instagram and we can take up the conversation. Now let's get back to the show. How do you build a team that actually cares about being open to change? Where do we find these people? They just knock on your door.
Well, we go through a few until we find the good ones.
Yeah. So we have a high churn rate.
Yeah, well, we have had a high turn rate at times, but what we've got at the moment is absolutely brilliant. We're very lucky that our core 10 or 12 are just, masters of their craft, love what they do, happy people, and whether it's by chance or not, we all see eye to eye, all get along really well. And like you rock up on Monday and you ask them, how's your weekend? And because you care, because you actually know, what's going on in their lives.
I've showed a lot of people your recruiting video.
Yep.
Because I am very much like, I can't stand it when people are like, I posted a CCAT and it doesn't work. And then you look at their business and you're like, why the fuck would anyone want to work for you anyway? And I show a lot of people your video because we're like, it's pinned to the top. We're talking about Instagram here. It's pinned to the top. It looks fucking killer. It talks directly to the person that you're trying to hire. And then the rest of your feed is all like, it's not just finished projects. It's like high fives and smiley faces and bang, bang, shit stuff. Like it's actually, when people look at it, not from a client's perspective, not from a lead generation perspective, your socials tend to be directed at a recruiting perspective. Is that right?
For the most part, well, I know what, as a carpenter come builder, I know what I like to see. And if that's appealing to, that's that carpenter looking for his next role, in a high-end environment, then perfect.
What about getting those team members? So we get the good ones. Let's say we get like a 1 in 10 applications are a goer. How do we get them from their application to being one of the core team?
Probably trust. Get on their level. Find out what you can do for them to make their experience good. Like if you provide for your team, they'll provide for you. We're big on holidays, big on family. We're big on, if you're burning out, you're not feeling good, talk to me.
That's like 3 key pieces that no other construction business cares about.
Yeah, man.
Holidays, family,
and it's
not
like,
burning out.
we rock up on Monday, go ask how their day is.
Just being normal, isn't it? It's
ask how their weekend was. Like, they'll like you if you give them the time of day. Like, and they'll, who wants to make money for someone who doesn't say hello to them on a Monday morning or bring them a can of Coke when it's hot or a coffee when it's cold,
And from the employer's perspective as well, what's the point in building a company full of people that you don't want to be around?
100%, yeah.
Okay, the industry's shifting. The game's always evolving. What is next for Eichner Constructions?
Well, it looks pretty similar to what it looks like now.
Are we going to tackle the world? Are we going to dominate the state? Are we going to have 50 project managers.
We're
Paint us the
happy.
picture.
We're happy to dominate Australia. We don't need to go worldwide just yet.
Yep. We're not going to go overseas.
No, I mean we're pricing interstate. We haven't got there yet, but it's something that I would be open to.
How does that come about? Because that's probably pretty. For some of the guys listening, probably pretty like a pipe dream to be able to go and expand interstate.
Yeah.
Where does it start? Where does it stem from?
Well, it starts with these commercial jobs that we're on now. You get a bit of a reputation for yourself for delivering a high end project, and then start quoting for tenders interstate. I'm not saying that we've won any yet, but you've got to be in it to win it.
Is this like open source, estimate one, bid contender, that kind of stuff?
Yeah. So we do look on it. It's not where a great deal of our work is, but we do use those tools as gap fillers. So we go hard and take care of our Adelaide clientele first. But why not? Quote
Melbourne from Adelaide, we can drive there overnight and drag a trailer.
Yeah, but you can price in accommodation, price in travel. The boys get a change. There's no harm in trying.
What about becoming a dad? How old's Henry now?
Henry's 9.5 months.
Okay. How has that shaped the way you lead?
The worries at work seem pretty insignificant now.
Is that because there's more chaos at home?
Partially. No, it's
some of the sleep deprivation.
No, man, family's everything. You go home now and you see his smiling face, you used to go at home and dwell on, materials are coming a day late, or, you've got a disgruntled client that's not happy with this one little element of their job.
And you would usually sit at the dinner table stewing on it.
Yeah, of course. But, life's so much bigger than that. Now I get to go home, hug my son, and life's good. Yeah, it's awesome.
It's interesting. I think I really hope the vast majority of people feel the same about that. I think their early, the first couple months is such a massive change to the household, but then you kind of get used to it and then you get into a good rhythm.
Oh, we're still not used to it, but we're trying.
Wait till number 2 comes and completely fucks it up again.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to poke on the general manager 2IC type concept. Because we've alluded to that you get to share some of the burdens. So you get to share the ups and downs with them. Yep. How has having a general manager changed the way you operate?
It's mainly taking that burden off, which has been great. Just a second set of ears, take a bit of a weight off my shoulders onto Rhett's has been, awesome. Not only for, family life, but in home life and headspace. It's better for the business.
Rhett used to say that you would ping him off emails in the evening, ripping his head off.
Yeah, so that's one thing that Rhett's brought to the table. Sometimes you get an odd email or text from a supplier or a builder at night that rubs you the wrong way. I've been known to type out my thoughts in a message or email ready to press send, but instead of sending it to them, they go to Rhett now. So
okay, so you're terrorizing his inbox.
Yeah, so he's my sounding board now. So he cops that at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. Then we'll meet in the morning, reword it, and
reword it or delete it.
delete, and send a bit more of a diplomatic approach. So. Yeah, he's been good in that sense.
Now, most people really struggle to maybe let go, or they don't know how to lead. What was it like before having a general manager?
We're just carrying more stress, and if that reflects in me not rocking up to site with a smile on my face and not being a present boss for my workers, you're not doing your job.
Was it a natural progression? Or, and what I mean by that was, did he go from qualified to leading hand to supervisor to ops manager to GM, or did you grab him from the outside in?
Grabbed him from the outside in. So he's from a commercial background, and became available at the right time that I was looking for that 2IC role. I have known I needed it for probably from 4 to 5 years in. I was starting to look for someone to fill that void because it was just
to be an extension of you.
Yeah, it was just too much for one person and too much in my head to be sustainable. So I had been looking for quite some time.
Was there no one internal that could step up to that role, or were you looking for other?
Oh, internal would have been ideal, but no, not because everyone that I employed was, younger carpenters that, want to go off and start their own thing. They don't want to be.
It's very common.
Till I see.
It's 99%.
And I encourage it because that's what I did. All my boys that are on now, I say, just be open with me with your plans. If you want to build and own your own business, we'll help you get there. So there's no secrets. So then, if they want to go out in 2 years' time after coming on board with us, that's a management plan. We build them up to be the best builder they can be before letting them go. They do great work for us.
You get their best work out of them, don't you?
Correct.
And you know when they're going to leave, so you can replace them
100%. And so then we've got guys that have gone out now that still subbie to us and do fantastic work because we've built that relationship.
And you can trust their work and you can trust they'll train their team.
And they trust me that I'll pay. We've done it all before. We've worked together before.
Surely that model, just to poke on the guys leaving you and then going out and subbie, surely that model has crossed your mind. Why keep carpentry internal? Why not subbie everything?
Because you can't call in subcontractors at the drop of a hat. True.
They're not always available. Yeah, they'll pick their own jobs over yours.
We're so multifaceted that our internal team's very flexible, and so a great bunch of guys and girls that will throw their hand at anything. I find with subbies, they're more one direction, this guy does decks, this guy does framing, this guy does second fix. So to find someone as multifaceted as our crew would probably be a bit of an ask.
You said guys and girls.
Yep.
You got female carpenters?
We do. We have a apprentice.
How the fuck does that come about?
Hey, mate, the world's changing, brother.
This is good.
Yeah. We've got an apprentice carpenter, Maria.
Yep.
She's actually on visa from Colombia.
Cool.
Yeah, awesome young girl, enthusiastic, and
First female in the company?
We've had, obviously we've had office staff, female office staff, but we've had 2 to 3 girls have a dip at carpentry over the years.
Cool.
Yeah.
Does it change the dynamic in the team?
No, not really. No, the boys are good. It's obviously it's not the norm, but it's becoming the norm to see.
Popular though.
Yeah,
I see heaps of female sparkies.
Yeah,
you don't see many female carpenters.
Yeah, so I think it's becoming more of the norm. Boys are very receptive to it. It's good, and
But it makes no difference really.
No, it doesn't at all. No, it's good.
Good. That's good to hear. Okay, back to Rhett. What is it like? Not even what is it like. What do you focus on now? Because you've got him in place. Where's your focus at having a general manager in the team?
So Rhett's role is bringing in that work from the commercial field that he's familiar with. So he's out chasing that, which has been a massive asset to us.
Cool. So he's doing a lot of BDM on that side.
Yeah. So then that frees me up to, I guess, lead your leaders. So I'm there, communicating with the project managers, making sure they're happy and making sure they've got everything they need to make the workers happy. Does
that mean that you then PM your own principal contracting sites, your direct to client sites?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Cool. And then you have to head those up, or does Rhett head them up?
It depends job to job scenario. So some jobs are more suited to Rhett's skill set, some more suited to mine.
Cool. And you split them up that way.
Yeah, and we throw it on the table. Who's it most suited to, and take a grab from there.
I think we all know construction is pretty brutal. We got the long hours, the high stress, and the constant firefighting. Unfortunately, I think firefighting is always going to be a part of it. Does work-life balance actually exist?
Yeah, I think it does.
Explain to me your definition of it. How does it look to you? Have you mastered it?
I certainly haven't mastered it. I was out chasing cows in a paddock last night at 6:30. So,
Why?
Yeah, that's a story for another day. I don't. The days are done of your 12 to 14 hour shifts, and because that's what I used to do, and think that it was you're working so hard, you're doing all these hours, you must be producing good work and making good money. The older I've gotten, more experience and exposure I've had to the industry, I don't feel it's the case. You get if you can't get everything you need done inside a 7 to 9 hour day, you're probably doing something wrong.
Yeah. Okay. And something wrong as in not able to delegate some of the tasks?
Yeah,
or just
probably
stewing over the wrong things?
Yeah, probably a bit of both. Delegation has been massive. Putting the right people in place. If you're doing 14 hours a day, get a second person on, and
it seems pretty obvious, doesn't it?
It does.
What about though? Okay, I want to think about how do we action this for the guy that's listening at the moment. Did you know that you could afford to bring on a full-time, non-billable, obviously being a GM? Did you know you could afford it, or was it an intuition thing? You're like, fuck this, I need it.
No, I didn't. It's been like every staff member through every growth period that we've gone through. You don't think you can afford them, you put them on. And you can
win
afford
the job,
them.
you get it done.
And you afford them. So it's every step of the way, from the second employee to the third, the fourth, the fifth, the supervisor, the GM. Every step of the way you question, is this too much financial strain for the company? But as long as that person's doing their role.
That's what you brought them on for anyway, isn't it?
That's what you brought them on for, yeah.
Okay. What does your routine look like now? With a GM in place, do you get to live some of your own life?
Yeah, I do. I quite enjoy my routine. 4:45 the alarm goes off, and head to the gym first thing, and then from gym, if I don't bypass the site and check on the boys, or if I've got something to address on the way to the office, I'll do that. If not, into the office. The morning's usually spent troubleshooting. What's our biggest issues? What do we need to address immediately? Where's our next lot of work coming from? Check your forecast. Where are we at? What's going on? Afternoon, usually go check a site or two, show your face. Like I said before, bring the boys a cup of coffee or a can of Coke. It goes a long way to keeping the vibes up.
And then come 6:30 p.m, you're just chasing cows around the paddock.
Yeah, that's a one-off. That's a one-off. End of the day, and then I usually like to be home by probably 5:30, 6 o'clock. So
I'm going to stop you right there for a moment. If this has got you thinking about your own business, then you're not alone. I work with managing directors all around the country to grow their business. We focus on growing your pipeline, building your team, and developing consistent profit. If this is something you're interested in, shoot me a message on Instagram and let's get back to the show. It's kind of the toughest moments in business really shape the way we operate. What's the hardest decision you've had to make?
Hardest decision. I don't think there's any particular one that sticks out. It's probably just having the balls to keep pushing through the hard times is probably...
It's the consistency component.
It's the consistency. It's just like if you're doing it, head down, and there is no problem harder than the other. Has
there been times when, just to press on that a little further, has there been times when you've been like, "No, fuck this, I quit"?
Yeah,
I hear it a lot.
Of course, yeah. What, this today or?
This is a daily basis. Yeah, wake up in the morning, look yourself dead in the eyes.
Yeah, man. Of course, yeah. Every other month, it'll cross your mind, but there's a bigger picture at play, and you remind yourself what you're doing it for, and knuckle down.
How do you keep educating yourself?
I'm a naturally curious person. I'm always studying something, whether it's on my, on the internet, phone, whatever, searching. Whenever there's a new product out or new system in place, I like to be well-rounded and about it. So do a lot of my own research in that regard.
Are you a paperback book reader? Are you a podcast goer? You're an online course user.
I am none of the above. I've kind of stomped to the beat of my own drum. I look up what I want to look up when I look it up. I'm not. Not big on the online learning thing and stuff like that. I get too distracted at home. I need to be in a classroom, or if I need to knock out a course, go do it in person. I'm not one to sit at home and do an online course. I'm too distracted.
Very millennial of you.
Yeah.
Tell me about this 76 kg Australasian champion title that we're going for, because that's been something that I know you've been biting your tongue. You've been wanting to talk about today.
Please shut up.
How has this come about?
So the whole Muay Thai thing. I've been training now for probably 3 years. I played footy my whole childhood from 8 years old. You played AFL up until 2 years ago. and I fell out of routine. Like, so I didn't have a few constants in place. And so Muay Thai has been a thing that I've lent on for a bit of structure. It was a hobby at first, and then trained more and more and more, and then
it's natural progression.
Yeah,
isn't it?
and then I'm a
coach tells you know what, you're pretty good, mate.
Yeah, and then I'm a goal driven person, so locked in. The WKA Australasian champs in March. So
by the time this is live, by the time guys are listening to it now, you will have the belt. Do you reckon we can Photoshop it back in?
Let's hope.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it, man. And it's been awesome. Like, it's structured up my daily routine. I've set a goal. I have to hit it because that's what I do. I book stuff, make sure I get myself in check for that reason.
Are you training twice a day at the moment?
Yeah, twice a day.
How are you fitting that in with work and family life?
Have a very understanding partner who's a good start.
I think that's a fantastic start.
Emily's the best. She always encourages my crazy ventures. So
does this mean that you're out of the house from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m?
4:30 to 6:30. Yeah, that's a pretty standard day.
Brutal.
Yeah, so she's tough skin and a great mum, and
I suppose there's a permission component of like, I would like to do this, and there's a timeline to it. It's not this is our life forever.
No, exactly,
So
exactly. And Emily knows why I'm doing it, and she's seen it only benefit me if it means I'm out early and back home late. I'm still very present at home, do everything I can when I get home, and she knows that. We've got a great understanding as far as making it work. So
everyone defines success a little bit differently. What does success mean to you?
Very cliche, isn't it?
As long as you don't say private jets and Lamborghinis.
Yeah, well, that's later. Probably happiness, man. Success is happiness. If you're, if you can eat healthy food, have a healthy family, run a business where all your staff are happy, everyone's needs are fulfilled, that's success in my eyes.
Tommy Eichner, I appreciate you.
Excellent. Thanks, Sam. Appreciate you, mate. Beautiful. Thanks, bud.